Hello there, everybody. Welcome to another live episode of Dream Business Radio. I'm your host, as always, Captain Jim Palmer, the Dream Business Coach. I'm the founder of the incredible Dream Business Mastermind and Coaching Program, creator of No Hassle Newsletters, my Done For You newsletter program used by over 1,200 small business owners in 9 countries. And today, every Wednesday, I'm the host of Dream Business Radio. This is episode 580, and I have not one but 2 special guests this week. Randy and Kathy Boyd. How are you guys doing today?
Good, Jim. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, this is great.
My pleasure. I'm really excited, excuse me, about the topic. So excited. I almost choked on myself. Anyway, hey folks, this episode of Dream Business Radio is brought to you by the Dream Business Mastermind and Coaching Program. If you're an entrepreneur who wants to grow a more profitable business faster, create an in-demand product, and most importantly, learn how to create multiple streams of revenue, something I'm very good at, you want to be part of this extraordinary virtual mastermind led by me, Captain Jim Palmer. You can learn more at dreambizcoaching.com, dreambizcoaching.com. Speaking of multiple streams of revenue, you can get a copy of my ebook, How to Create Multiple Streams of Revenue. Pretty clever title. And I detail, and I think it's about 12 or 13 pages, exactly how I went from one business in 2001 to 7. And now I'm back down to about 3 right now. And we'll see how that keeps going in the next year. But anyway, more on that later. Anyway, get a copy of this report. There's nothing. What I'll tell you is this. Everything I've learned is that if you want to be a high income earner, multiple streams of revenue is the way to do that instead of just pushing one big boulder up the hill. You can get a free copy at createmultiplestreamsofrevenue.com, createmultiplestreamsofrevenue.com. And at the end of today's show, I'm going to tell you how you can get free copies of my awesome Dream Business books. But let me introduce my guests and we will dive right in. Randy and Kathy Boyd have been married since 1983 and have had their own share, like most of us, of marital troubles, as well as several life-changing victories. After retiring from their respective careers, Randy earned an associate's degree in psychology and drug and alcohol studies and became a licensed alcohol and drug counselor. He is also a board-certified life coach with certificates in trauma-informed care, marriage and family, and a master in mental health coach. Jeez, what an underachiever. both are SYMBIS certified, which is Save Your Marriage Before It Starts. And they now work as a team to help many, many people around the country. Together, they created the Courageous Healers Foundation, helping men and women and their families heal from the scars of sexual abuse, as well as heal and restore counseling and its companion podcast. Randy and Kathy also created recently, I'm fully aware, of Armor Up Your Marriage for the holidays. It's a program which I'm going to be asking them about today. So Randy and Kathy, again, welcome to Dream Business Radio.
Thank you for having us, Jim. We appreciate it. Look forward to this.
It's so great. I almost never have 2 guests on because there's always, it's not just a two-way where the guest and the host could talk over each other, but then there's the possibility of you. So it's, you know how that goes. Somebody could be listening and not watching us. So we're going to try and behave ourselves today. In full disclosure, everybody, Randy and Kathy are clients of mine, been so for, I think about 4 or 5 months now. Yep. And they're members of the Dream Business Mastermind. So now, you know, another reason why it is so extraordinary. But Randy, you and Kathy spent many years in California. I think you, most of your life there, correct me if I'm wrong. And then you recently moved to Arizona, right?
Yes.
Okay. Absolutely. I also know you started or you ran a very successful contracting company. So this is a business podcast. We're not necessarily going to focus just on relationships, although we cover it all here. But let's kind of go with the business angle first. Tell me about your contracting business.
Well, and I've been in construction and all my life. I started when I was 15, doing the dirty job of labor, sweeping buildings and so on. And then in 1990, in that period of time, I only worked with like 2 or 3 different people. So I was very stable for people I worked with.
Mm-hmm.
But in 1990, I said I had enough of making money for everybody else and working for people that didn't know how to keep their word. And I picked up my Kathy and our one child, and we moved to Palm Desert to start a business. And I literally I didn't know anybody in the area. We just went. And I did have, and I don't suggest this to anybody, I did have a business partner to start for financial reasons, and
That seldom goes well, right?
Yeah.
he walked away with $250,000, so it didn't go
Oh.
very well for me. But we survived,
Mhm.
and I learned a lot from it. That's the whole thing is I learned a lot, and then I went out on my own. And the one thing that I've discovered, Jim, that is really important to me, and is you start small. You don't
Overreach.
don't overreach. I literally started with myself and two guys, and that's how it started. And then as time went on, and I got more work, then I would add crews, or I'd add people to my company. And it was a masonry company. And over the 20-year period that I had it, I went from two people, and when we shut the business down in 2010, I had over 80 employees.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Yeah, and
And
it
you
was
didn't just start your business where you had your roots. You picked up and moved. So
yeah,
you started literally not at ground zero. You started in the basement.
exactly, and it was a challenge because the Coachella Valley was kind of an old boy town, so to speak. So it really took me some time to get in there and get my roots established. But once I did, it took off. Jim, one of the biggest things that I want to say that I learned running a business. First of all, the things that I learned working for people, I took those and applied or didn't apply them when I ran my business.
Hmm.
And my key to success, honestly, was my employees, and I treated them all with respect.
That's
Um,
awesome.
it's I treated them as equals, and it really paid dividends in the long run.
So you ran that business, Randy, for 20 years, and then you closed it and moved to Arizona. Is that the time frame?
No, we closed it in 2010 because of the economy, and we were
Okay.
liquid, so we decided to get out of it before we weren't
Hmm.
liquid.
Hmm.
And then at that point in time is where Kathy and I talked, and she says, "Why don't you just dive head on into all the recovery work you want to do with people, the foundation, and working with men and people, and we'll
Going to school.
be going to school and doing all that." So that was in 2010. So that's how we got started on that journey, and
Okay.
then moved out. Then we didn't move to Arizona until last year. So it was a 12-year period between the time I shut the business down. Kathy was still very active in her work. So it was a 12-year period between the time I shut the business down and we moved to Arizona.
Okay. Kathy, let's bring you into what was your background? What were you doing for work?
Well, I had a 42-year career in escrow real estate.
Wow.
And yeah, I started in high school, honestly. My mom was in the industry, so I naturally went to work for her. And in that 42-year career, I started I was a driver delivering documents up until I became the manager of the company I worked for, and I was with them for over 25 years. And it's a very stressful, can be a very stressful job. Requires a lot of organization and admin type
Mhm.
mentality. But we talk about what we learned in that career, and I think the biggest thing I took away is personalities. Having to learn so many different personalities and how to manage those personalities was huge, and that's kind of what helps me today doing
Right.
what we're doing today as well.
Yeah, and the deadlines and everything seems to be last minute in that, right, in that field.
Yeah,
And I'm amazed. First of all, if you buy a car, I mean, the amount of times you sign your name, but it dwarfs how many times when you're buying a house or refinancing or anything, and you guys are the ones that get all that packet ready to go
right.
for the person sitting on the other side of the table, right? So,
Right, and I always looked at it as, this is probably one of the biggest investments people will make, and so
mhm.
how am I gonna show up for that experience for them? And so I took that to heart, and that was really why I put myself into their shoes many times.
So, Randy, 2010 to 2012, was that all going to school, preparing you for your next venture, which is the counseling and the coaching, or when did you start officially doing that?
I started in 2010 while the business was still going. I
Mhm.
actually started going to school
Okay.
last year, right? And then I spent I took the slow ride going to college. So I probably spent 4 years, I think going to get my degree, but that's what I had to do for myself.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was just diving into, first getting that foundation going, right? And then Change Your Life Story was what we rebranded Heal and Restore from. So it's just working with people, getting my craft down, right? Um, Learning how to work with people. There's so much that you got to learn in the helping field, how to talk to people, everybody's different and everybody needs a different approach. So those years were mostly spent on just really refining my craft and helping people.
And what was the driving force for that?
Good
You know, I don't want to delve into your entire story, whatever you're comfortable.
Right.
What led you to have such a heart to serve other people and recognize there's such a need?
Great question. The short version, when I got in recovery and I decided that, Jim, you know my story. So
Yeah.
there was never nothing for men that have been sexually abused. And so it was a calling that I had on my life. And I said, I've got to do something to help these men that have nowhere to go. And that's what it was. I had people look at me like, you're walking away from a 6-figure job, I'm not knowing what you're gonna, earn. I go, yeah, because I'm helping people. So that was a driving force behind it. And then when I wrote that first book, that was prompted by my therapist at the time.
And when did you write your first book? Because that was a large book. That must have taken you a while.
It was a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. We published it in 2015.
Okay.
So it was a lot. I had a person behind me that was really guiding me on how to write the book. And it was put together. We didn't want a book that was just all the darkness of abuse. We wanted a book of hope and healing. And
Yeah.
that's what it ended up being. So that's one reason it's so big.
And I know that your book's for sale on Amazon, and I don't know if it's available other places or if it's in bookstores, but I know that your book is being bought by men, and some of them reach out to you because you smartly have your contact information in there,
Right.
and you've been able to actually help several people as a result of telling your story and providing the hope.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not, it's what we've discovered, Jim, over time is it's not only men, it's the women too. We originally titled the book, Healing the Wounded Man Within. And we had to quickly rebrand it because women were reading the book and families were reading the book. So, and they reach out when they're ready, they'll reach out to me.
Yeah.
But they say that the book has helped them tremendously in many different ways.
So I want to fill in some of that background for our viewers and listeners, but I want to kind of switch to where we are now. So, Kathy, I know you and Randy work with couples. Sometimes somebody just wants to work with you, Kathy, and for the life of me, I can't figure out why they just want to work with Randy. Totally kidding. But you also work. So I've known them folks. So take it easy. Don't be harsh about my hosting ability. So you will often work as a couple with other couples. So let's talk about that business, which I guess, so did you start doing that before you moved to Arizona? You had the foundation that we kind of transitioned into the healing.
Yeah. So Randy started his coaching business several years ago, got his, certifications and continued his education. And I just felt really called. Through our church walk and through the ministry of our own personal journey and our recovery and the healing that we went through, I kept getting that tug of, there's something more. And the way that the economy was, everything just allowed us that opportunity to literally quickly decide we were going to make this move to Arizona. And in the process, it freed me up from working crazy hours and a very stressful business to being able to have that opportunity to help other women on their journey of healing. You know, our little bit of our story is that Randy had an affair, so I had to work through that process. So it gave me an opportunity, and there's a lot of women out there that have also experienced that. So it was a tug on my heart and really wanting to do more. And so I am blessed and grateful that we're where we are today because we get to do this together now. It's not just him, but I get to
Mm.
participate as well.
It's so awesome. And, whether it's things that you've gone through or it's like you are a coach, right? You guys coach people. Sometimes they don't like the word coach. I like consultant or, whatever, but you really coach people to a better place.
Mhm.
And I help other coaches, some business coaches, marketing coaches, other people. And the folks that seem to do it best are not those that just read all the books on the bookshelf and go to courses. It's when you can pull on your life experience. Like, nope, as a business coach, I've had some success. I've been blessed with a lot of success in multiple businesses, but it's all the stuff I went through with money mindset and, poverty thinking and self-doubt and fear of public speaking. All the stuff that I had to overcome makes me a better coach, not just the business stuff, right?
Yeah.
And so where you guys have each, gotten schooled and in some cases degreed, it's also what helps you. And this is my schooled opinion. It also helps you become a much better couple to help other couples because of what you went through. Do you agree?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, we live by the mantra, you cannot transmit something you do not have,
Mm,
right? And so that's our when people come to us, they're so grateful because they know we've walked in their shoes, right?
Mhm.
Whether it's a marriage trauma or addiction.
yes.
No, we've been there and we understand them and we meet them at their level, not above them.
Yeah.
And so it really opens, it's that emotional tug we talked about yesterday. We meet them at where they're at. We just meet them where they're at.
That's right. So I know you guys recently published another book, How to Heal and Restore Your Marriage. Can you share a little bit about that book and why you wrote that?
Yeah. So, thanks to you. And, with the whole transition of changing our business over to the Heal and Restore counseling program, we have our How to Heal and Restore Your Marriage, which we work under what we call a HEAL program.
Hmm.
And the HEAL is the acronym HEAL for
Hope,
hope,
expectation,
expectations,
acceptance.
acceptance, and listening. Sorry, he's got these down. He really was focused on that.
Well,
Um,
you got the big bright light on you, so I know you probably that's when your memory
Yeah.
goes kaput.
So it's, we just released it maybe a month ago now, and we actually have gotten some nice feedback from it.
Hmm.
We've got, some promos coming up that we're going to utilize for the holidays with it. But really, we want to just to kind of be able to reach, like Randy says, reach people where they are, give them some hope, give them some tools that they can start with. And, obviously, it's things that we've done, so we know it works. So we want to be able to pass that on to others as well.
Yep. And, so this is largely a business and marketing show. So let's touch
Mhm.
on the aspects of one of the reasons you wrote the book. In addition to wanting to serve, give some information, etc., this is a way, and the way the book has been written and edited, it's a business card, calling card
Yeah.
/ brochure wrapped up in about 60 pages, right? Because it explains kind of what you do, your philosophy, and how you work, and therefore people that get the book are going to be much more likely to want to engage with you. Correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And Jim, I just got to say the way that you explained to us how to write the book, it makes it really simple and makes it really, it helps me, especially as a writer, to get right to the point very quickly.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah.
So
And so, Randy, you know now that you don't start your next book. Well, I was born in 19. No, boom. That's not important, right?
that's a
Before,
bibliography, not a book.
That's gone.
That's gone.
yeah, before Jeff Herring busts on me for abusing my guests again. So I also want to talk about because when we scheduled this interview like a month ago, I was really excited because we're about 2 weeks away or so from Thanksgiving.
Mhm.
And, that's kind of the unofficial beginning, although some people think it's Labor Day now, but that's the
Right.
unofficial beginning of the holiday season. I know, but I've been married 43 years, 4 grown kids. And now, with our travel, our former lifestyle, soon to be future lifestyle again, of traveling, there's a lot of stress that goes on in the holidays. You guys have come up with a program called Armor Up Your Marriage for the holidays. Kathy, why don't you talk a little bit about that, and if anybody's interested, how do they learn more?
Yeah, so we're really excited. This is just another one of these opportunities where the holidays can be stressful. They're stressful in the home. They're stressful if you're traveling, husbands and wife, not knowing what to do, how much to spend, where are we going to be. And so we put together this program. It's going to be a 4-week program, 30-minute Zoom sessions. We're inviting couples to join us so that we can just kind of share some tips and some tools that will help make the holidays so much more enjoyable, not only for them as a couple, but for their entire family, because we know that when the adults in the home are uptight, the entire house is uptight.
Yes.
So registration is open on this right now at our website at healandrestorecounseling.com.
Okay.
It's a $49 investment into a healthy, enjoyable holiday season. So if you're listening and you're interested, or if you're watching and you're interested, check out the registration on healandrestorecounseling.com. It's a quick, easy link to register, and it's going to be 4 Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for 30 minutes. So we're not taking up hours of your day. We're going to take up a little window to help you through the holidays.
Wow. Well, first of all, I feel like standing up and applauding, because what a great job you did explaining the program. But you've also very nicely directed people to the website at least twice. I think I heard 3 times. So yay.
I try to do that.
That was so awesome. The only thing I'm not going to say the only thing I'm upset with you is you get the whole 4-week course and all this thing for $49, $47.
$49 plus you will get a free copy of our How to Heal and Restore Your Marriage book. So it can't beat the price.
Clearly, you didn't run your price by me, but anyway, it's a good deal. So I would highly recommend that.
Well, it's $49 because it's the inaugural.
Yeah, we're
event.
starting something new.
I'm of course still kidding with you.
I
So
know
one of the things that I know is stressful, as you said, what to spend. There was a period, and my story where I was unemployed for almost a year and a half. Talk about the main source of our family income drying up, and then going through 2 Christmases, and then I started my business, which meant I went through 3 or 4 more where we had no money. But you still got the kids, and my kids weren't kids like in the in terms of Santa, but kids expect some things at Christmas, parents, all this and that, and that can be very stressful. So I know that's something you're going to talk about.
Yeah.
The other thing, which I know, again, just from marriage, is that, well, we went to your parents last Christmas. Why can't we go to my parents this Christmas? Are you going to address some of those things?
Absolutely.
Yeah. We'll be able to cover that.
Yeah.
There's so much that goes on with, people pleasing and things of that nature. And that's one of the other areas that we want to make sure that, we find that balance for couples, that they can comfortably communicate what their desires and their needs are and come up with a healthy solution rather than the banter back and forth.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think that's really important. One of the things that I learned when, in full disclosure, we went to a marriage therapist many years ago. And one of the things I learned is that sometimes, even though you really love each other, you have a hard time saying what you need to say both ways.
Right.
And so working with someone like yourself, you can draw that out, and suddenly, that mountain of crap kind of melts away a little bit.
Mhm.
Right. So
Exactly.
the other thing I think that, as far as the armor up for your marriage for the holidays, and when does that start again?
Our first gathering will be on Tuesday, November 21st at 6 p.m. Pacific time.
Okay, perfect. Is not just within the marriage, and then you got the extended family. To me, and not that I'm a cheapo, I think I'm hopefully far from that, but budgeting, you get so caught up. And it's like, you think, okay, we got everything done. And then you're in a store and you're 2 days away. That would be awesome. And next thing you know, 3 weeks or a month later, you got these credit card bills that are like, holy crap.
It adds up.
I mean, what of all the things we've talked about, whose family do we go with, and this, that, and the other thing, is budgeting probably the biggest thing, or would you say it's something else?
Yeah, I
Oh,
would say
yeah.
budgeting is going to be the biggest thing, and that's going to come down to being a, having those having healthy communication, but not just budgeting on what are we going to spend for our kids or our family members, but if you're hosting Christmas or one of the holidays, how much are you going to spend on your food? There's a lot of that nowadays. The cost of food is so much more. So we
Yeah.
want to make sure we cover all those. There's 4 different areas we're going to be covering each week that will be helpful in that communication to where they can find that happy middle and be comfortable with what each person wants to do for the holiday.
So we have about 4 more minutes. I want to kind of swerve back into the marriage part, because that's kind of how I titled the show.
Mm.
So you have a program, and I think this will. So I want to help the people who may need this information, but also for you marketers out there. So one of the things I know from personal experience, when you go to a marriage counselor, a therapist, or a coach, whatever, again, you want to call it, you sometimes don't know, am I in this for a year or 10
Right.
years, or, where's the end point? One of the things that you guys have done with your Heal and Restore marriage program is no matter where people are, they always come in through the same door. You have like a 90-day, what do you call that 90-day program?
Heal program, 90-day heal program.
Okay. So everybody comes in through this same 90-day window. Why do you do that, by the way?
We don't want somebody to walk in. Well, when you go to a therapist's office, correct? You walk in and you're sitting down, and how long am I going to be here? And it can drag on. For instance, with me, and I'm grateful it did for me, but a lot of people can't do this. I was seeing my therapist for 5 years,
Mhm.
right? I had a lot of work to do on myself. That's a little different story. So it's like we want people to walk into into this coaching journey with us, feeling comfortable that, hey, look, we're going to go 12 weeks with you, right? And we're going to take you from being at the nose and almost ready to drown to get you up to your waist, right? And then at that point, we're going to discuss if you want to continue, where are you at? Do you feel you want to continue the journey? So it's like 12 weeks is a bite-sized chunk that everybody, I think, can afford to do, and it's especially as far as time-wise, because it goes very fast.
And I
So
know you've used language like triage. It's like
yeah,
triage, like if you come into a hospital, triage, how do you stop the bleeding? How do you get the patient stable? And then let's figure out what's wrong. How can we get them healthy again? So I love that definition.
Yeah.
The other thing it does, and again, I want to talk to the other entrepreneurs out there, with this 90-day window that everybody comes into, you've effectively lowered the bar, right? As far as, well, financially, because
mhm,
you don't have to come up with whatever. It's just a 90-day program. You've lowered the financial bar, and you've also made it okay for people to sample. Am I going to like working with Randy or Kathy?
right.
Right. And then from your perspective, you might go, I may not like this one, maybe a real, we'll be polite and say a challenge, right?
Yeah.
And so you may not want to sign up for a year. So it's a very smart strategy. And the
Right.
other thing we talked about, actually, we talked about it yesterday in our Dream Business Mastermind, is when you get a new customer or client, patient, whatever your language, and you can show them incredible value, quickly, right? Even though many things can take a while to develop and nurture, mature, but when you can show them value up front fairly quickly, all that possible buyer's remorse kind of
Mhm.
dissipates and melts away, and it really begins then the whole question, or about how can we continue to work together, and things like that. So man, we're starting to get some I can't keep up with the comments here. Nice questions. Anyway, Sean McCulloch, there's somebody who belongs in this group. I know Sean's getting a chance to see you guys. Anyway, I really enjoyed having you on. I only had one very, very slight apprehension, because it's a marketing show and it's like we're going to talk about marriage and stuff. But so we not only gave some good advice, hope you'll agree, those people that are
Yeah.
listening on
Yeah.
the replay, but we also gave some real good information about how you grew your businesses, and how you're doing this now. So once again, Kathy, you did such a great job. Why don't you give, for those people who want to connect with you, go ahead and give your information out again, please.
Yeah, I would love to. So yeah, you can reach us at healandrestorecounseling.com. That's our website. There is, you can check out our website. All of our bio information is on there. We have testimonies of couples that we've helped in the past that are on there. You can purchase books through our website. So it's all available at healandrestorecounseling.com.
And they can also connect with you for a 30-minute or 45-minute consult, just to kind of put the toe in the water and see what they think, right?
Yeah, if anybody's looking for some services, we're happy to help. We offer a free 45-minute consultation. We call it our discovery session, to kind of get to know you, get to know us, and make sure it's a good fit before we move forward on any program.
That's awesome. Well, Randy and Kathy Boyd, thank you so much. I knew this would be a wonderful, I thought I knew it'd be a fun interview because I like busting around a little bit, but I knew this would be incredibly helpful. And Kathy, you deserve all kinds of medals for, anyway, there I go again. I must stop. Randy, I love
No, she does deserve them. So one thing I know all the time, we had Change Your Life Story for a long time. It was going nowhere. And when we got with Jim is when our life coaching did take off. It was only through his marketing expertise and suggestions and advice and coaching that we are where we are at today.
Yeah. So thank you, Jim.
Thank you, Jim.
You're welcome. And I feel horribly bad that I picked on you for half an hour now because I didn't ask for it.
All you want. I'm used to it. You got big shoulders too, so we can go back and forth anytime.
Yeah, we do that. All right, you guys. Well, thank you so much. And by the way, so connect with them at healandrestorecounseling.com, healandrestorecounseling.com. You can connect with me at getjimpalmer.com, slightly shorter, a little easier to spell probably, getjimpalmer.com. Remember, if you're interested in joining me and about 24 other smart entrepreneurs, including Kathy and Randy, go to dreambizcoaching.com, dreambizcoaching.com. Okay, I told you can get free copies of all my books in digital format. So at Amazon, that's obviously Kindle. Barnes & Noble, those are Nook books. And my books are also in the iBook store, totally free. No opt-in, no nothing. It's just my way to continue my way to serve and educate with the gifts that I've been blessed with. And by the way, one more time, I'll give a plug for this amazing ebook. And it is called Create Multiple Streams of Revenue.com. Get a free copy of that. But that's it. Until this time. Whoa, I almost said this time next week. Well, I won't be here next week. I will be in Cancun. Sorry about that. But until this time, 2 weeks from now, I am Captain Jim Palmer, and I am the Dream Business Coach, and you take good care.